welcome back to my channel. It's Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and we're on the road with our on the road journal again to make some things that we'll put in and use in different ways, combining with other things. Today, the object that I have for on the road is some paint samples that you can get when you're out and about. Some of them might be smaller across there, which is actually bigger than a lot of them. This one has solid pieces. Oops, I dumped something I have. I do have some product packaging that I'm going to combine this with. Here's some paint cards. We have this pretty one that can be part of a journal, but then we also have little booklets with paint cards. Here's some bigger ones that have 4 strips of cards. Also have some paper strips that are left over. Here's some more product packaging that I brought along with me. And we have this booklet that has all of these paint samples. I guess they're just on this side, and then there's some other parts. I think these paintbrushes would be really cool to cut out, but that's only if we could peel these off. Well, maybe we could. So we could peel off the paint sample. They'd have to be peeled off most of the page, and then we could use that. And then if you have a punch with you, otherwise you could kind of do something like this with scissors. So we'll do some with scissors. I took a solid one like this, and let's do a different color so you can see, because that's actually the color I did. So I punched out a number of things, and we can use the negative parts too, but you can see I've punched out a heart, scallopy heart, a scallopy circle, and a few bunnies. We have one more bunny in here somewhere. Or not. I don't see it, so I'm not sure where the other bunny went, but we had 3. Anyway, those are things I thought we'd play with today, because you can get product packaging while you're out. This is a little advertisement for recycling. Oh, here's some more paint chips. This is an advertisement for audiobooks. It's like a little bookmark from a bookstore. These are from a box of tea that we have in our room. There's our bunny. This is also from a box of tea. Guess we just have those 2 pieces for that one. Oh no, we have this piece also. And then this, even though it's beat up a little bit, when we put stuff over it, you won't know that. This is product packaging for some pens that you might have had to grab while you were out. So, and these are when we put the pages in the book. These are the scraps that we had from the strips of those or other strips. And this is just where I'm going to put the stuff that I make, so we can make sure we get it back in the journal. So, hope you're having a good day. Let's start by taking off these as well as we can, so we can fussy cut out the paint brushes, because I just think that would be a lot of fun. What do you think? And remember, we'll make a few samples right now, but we can save these to put with other things. Sometimes maybe pictures from a advertisement brochure, maybe some digital art that is left from when we did the cover. Not sure if this is completely getting off, but I think it is. It could be a brochure or a map. I did bring my bin with me that has the scraps in here, including some map scraps. So if we want to put those together. Okay, this one did not come off all the way nicely. Well, it might still be there. Maybe rather than do all of this right now, I'll just get enough off that I could cut one paintbrush out. Whoops, I tore that one. That still can work though. Let's see, the paintbrush goes down to here and over. So I think if I just get this blue one, we'll be good. So if that's the case and it doesn't come down any further, we could actually just cut these out. So maybe I'll cut 2 of these so we can use them in their cut form as opposed to their torn off form. So we'll set this aside. We don't want to let any of this to go to waste. I'll make other stuff when I'm actually out on the road. And I might just, when I'm off camera, fussy cut up or tear off the things. Prep some more supplies so I can combine them together out there. Oh, that was 2 pages. Does that mean that this is actually a different page and I did not need to tear those off at all? I can actually get at all the paintbrushes. Silly me, I did not investigate well enough. Okay. This is Sherwin-Williams Coastal Cool Color Collection. We picked this up out on the road when we were looking to paint one of our rooms. Yeah, we'll do this blue one here. Set this aside for right now. Some extra here. Oops. I was working earlier today on my traveling art studio. It's got some challenges, but it's coming along slowly. Come on, I know that that's 2 of you here. I let you tell me you're only 1, but you're not. Well, maybe it is. Did I start to tear it up? We'll just have to glue that back down. Okay, so this is called Blissful Blue. So that's another thing that you can do for something like this, and that's Curie Gray. We'll do it with the Blissful one. We can save the word and put it on, whoops, we'll put it on something. Okay, so where do we want to start? We got bunnies, we got some map, we have paint cards, we have book pages. We could delve into our magazine-y type books too. This says dormitorio. I'm not sure what that is. That's probably another language for dormitory or bedroom, I'm guessing, but I'm no expert. I think being an artistic creative person, I like finding art supplies like paintbrushes, especially when they have paint on them. That makes them fun. So we can put that on something. So we have these, we have some map, we have lots of different paint things. Maybe we can do a want them to be different, so I think I'm going to go for this blue. And use it with these two. Oh, let's put some blue map with it. That'll be good. Even though I didn't put the word blue, I could do that. I'm just going with blissful blue without putting blue on here. I think I threw that on the floor. This almost looks like a purpley blue compared to those. Do we have any book page edge? Makes a little interest. We have some map edge. We have coffee dyed, but I think this goes better with the brush. Okay, and what would we like to have for our tag? We could have explore. I think that's not quite big enough. These aren't blue, but how does it look with red? Kind of like it with the green more. Straighten up the cut job here. So we'll make this a journal card. It's got a nice writing surface. We could make it go in this way. Maybe we'll start by just putting some map on this side. Oh, it goes this way. Maybe we'll do that. Get out this glue stick and our glue paper. Don't want to lose our blissful. Okay, stick this on here. Now maybe there's tea. There might be tea like in your room, but if you're in your own vehicle or tent camping or something like that on the road, you might have bought yourself a box of tea. Or even if there's some in the room, perhaps you like a certain kind of tea. So maybe you brought your own tea box with you. Maybe you're even having company or other family members that are having some. Okay, let's see. We could put these on the side. That sort of looks like a compass. Does it have a number? Could stick it through the middle and how about like that? That's kind of cool. So we'd want to put this on first and get it close. This is some of the paper sack that's in our journal. We made the journal with. So that's a scrap from there. Put that on there. And we need a piece of this. This is the edge of a map book that's in there. And I just saved some little strips like this in one of the tall snack bags so I could have it on the road. So we'll just put these scraps back in our scrap bag for additional use. And we have our product packaging for future use. We still have a little bit of map. Now let's put this across. This is kind of slick on the back, so I think I'm gonna go with art glitter glue. Sometimes slick needs a heavier duty glue. This is called King Triton, this blue. Yeah, it goes that way. So just kind of put it out here, sort of in the middle. I have to watch it when I'm rubbing them down because they tend to shimmy and slide. Okay, this also is shiny material. Speaking of sliding, my paper's going all over the way. This is even more shiny. So definitely we're gonna go with the art glitter glue. Even though that Scott's glue stick does do a really good job on things. Okay, I'm not wanting the ST, so I'm trying to cover it up, but also keep a bunch of the handle. And kind of just put this on at a jaunty angle. And it's one of those things you have to watch sliding because that one slid quite a bit. Okay, we have our blissful. But I wonder if we can also find some other words. Maybe we'll put this up here. You can look in one of our books or come across just in our books later some additional words that we might like. It's another thing I just thought of in my previous, one of my other videos anyway. I believe it'll go in previously. I just did it a few minutes ago. But if you have a marker, and I still have that one here, maybe I'll just show you on one of the papers that I made. Can see, but you could make a label just by drawing around something. So we could just make, this kind of goes with the handle. Maybe we'll just make a blank label. Just kind of make a fussy edge. So this, you can transfer what you've made over to another area of your travel journals. So here we have a little label which we can put a word in at a future date if we come across one that we would like in there. Or we could just leave it as a label. It just needs something in here. Maybe touching on the paintbrush would be nice. You see the color goes really nice with it. So here we go. Here's a journal card made on the tea box with some paint cards, some scraps of maps and other paper, and then our stamped paper with some markers and the word from the paint thing. So let me bring it up here so you can get a good look at it. I think that's the only one I'm going to make for right now for this video, but we certainly could make additional ones, you know, like a little punched bunny would be cute, although we don't have a punch with us. But maybe out on the road you come across a punch or some things that somebody has punched. Because even though you're out on the road, you may go to the thrift store or somewhere else and find some things. So here's an option. If you have a corner rounder, you can use that. And if you don't, you can just nip the corners straight with your scissors, or you can round them with your scissors. Or if you want to have them bigger rounded, let's say we're doing one of these as a little tag. You just cut out the individual color. And I have a little template that I've made out of a card, but you can use something else. Now for these, what we could use is our paint card things we cut out, because those have an angle on them. So we can just use them as a template, like that. Turn it around for this side, or if you don't want to do that, you can do it the same side, but put it on the back. So by using what you had with you and your scissors, you now have this edge. And if you wanted to round the corners at the bottom, I don't know if this is too big of a circle for you, probably, but maybe one of our other things like the shampoo thing or this glue. And I do have a pencil down there in my thing, but I'm just going to grab this one. I need to be able to see the edge of this white, so I'm going to put it on the table. So you would just, hopefully you can see this, you would line up your curved object to where one side of the circle and the other side is lined up with the paper. Now you can eyeball this, but this just helps make it a little more uniform and a little easier to cut by hand. So I've just traced around that. You might have a travel shampoo or whatever that might have it, a chapstick, you know, whatever you might have. And so this gives us a curved line to cut on to round our bottom corners. Like that. I said I was only going to make one, but you know, maybe I'll make more. What would be good with this color that I already have out? I don't know. Do I like this one? That's the one I used for the angled template. That's kind of fun to have something like this, but we don't have this to do it, so you can find something bigger to trace around. Maybe you have a drinking glass, or maybe you just eyeball it. Sometimes you can find something to trace, or just really eyeball it. Like maybe I found this to trace, which I didn't even do a very good job, but I want it bigger. Then I can just try to cut outside that line a little bit bigger. And I'll show you, if you don't want it to be smooth, what you can do. If you don't have decorative scissors. So that's sort of round, little points in a few places, but maybe you want it to be more wavy, sort of like our scalloped circle was. Just wiggle your scissors while you're cutting. Actually, you wiggle the paper while you're closing your scissors a little bit. In cutting, you should always move the paper, not the scissors. Okay, so now we have this one. And I was kind of thinking of angling this as well, but I'm wondering if I like it better if it's is straight. Let's see. This is a little less messed up. So if we went straight to the corner and then like that, it kind of gives us a different shape, except we're going to put this on and we lose that anyway. So maybe just do the one. Does that look weird to just have that be straight? I don't know. What do you think? And what can we find to put on there? This ended up a little more longer in one direction than the other. Let's see, it's like about that tall, unless we turn it this way. So it's like that much difference. Problem is it seems to get a straight end. That's a little better. This. I don't know. All right, so it sticks out a little bit. We'll just glue it in between. We could make this a pocket, but I've already put the glue on. So that's the sides. I didn't glue that down though yet. All right, getting distracted here. This one's gonna need a focal point on later, something picture-wise decorative and or words. Oops, come on. Get off some of the glue. Let's see, these are the sides. So here's another little, like a tag, and then we have this sticking off over the edges, which we could trim off later if it interferes with the pocket. Maybe we could find a flower or something to put there, and maybe some kind of word that we could put on here, like we did our bliss. So those are some things we can do. That's actually kind of cute, but we don't necessarily have one of those for a punch. What do we have on our paint book? We do have this, let's see, this might be the best thing to cut out. We have this dish of something. I think it's those little string balls. And since it's blue also, it kind of goes nice with the blue that's underneath here. So let's see. The bowl kind of blends into the back there, but I think that's where it went. you might have more variety to make something, and everybody's going to have something different that they find out and about, because we're not going to all find exactly the same thing. That would look nice with a little book page behind it. You know, I keep saying I was going to be done, but where's my books? Maybe part of the index would be good, because it has nice small print. Okay, I think that's too long. Get our clear up to our text up here. I think that's a good size. Okay, let's put these on. And I could distress this, but for time's sake, maybe not, but maybe stick my hands in all the glue. So that was 3 different paint chips, little piece of book page, and this is an illustration off of the book that had paint chips in it. So we're definitely going with our paint theme, paint chip things, but if you just get a few paint chips, they can make lots and lots of things. So this one says planetarium, so maybe we could find a planetarium word to go up there. And then this one says blissful. So thank you for joining me on this journey with our paint cards and things that we can make with them. I hope you have a day full of fun, creativity, and love, and enjoy being out on the road on your journeys through life. Take care. Come back again soon.